Welcome back. All right, so today I'm going to discuss the Columbus Blue Jackets as I continue to look at teams in the NHL this offseason. These are not season previews. If there's anybody who's not on the depth chart that you're expecting to be there come the fall, my depth charts have nothing to do with that. Not only that, but I pull these from Puckpedia and I pull it from Daily Faceoff. So there are obviously going to be names that may not show up right away. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Anyways, Columbus is an interesting squad because they very nearly made the playoffs. They had 89 points this season, which was a 23-point improvement from last year and was 30 points better than where they were 2 years ago. So a season that there was a lot of concern about how this team was going to play, how are they going to respond. They responded really well. And the 89-point season has led to an interesting offseason, which is still interesting. Chinakhov. He's a restricted free agent next summer, but it sounds like he wants out of Columbus now. And he had 30 games this past season that he played for Columbus, 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points. Chinakhov can be a good middle six player. Not likely to be a first liner on another team, but second, third line, sure. So with Chinakhov, and I pulled him out of the lineup on purpose just to point out that if Chinakhov leaves, you do have the possibility of a hole in this lineup up front, although there are players who could jump into that spot. Delbel Beluz stands out to me as one that could maybe step into that spot. So looking at the roster, you got Boone Jenner. He signed for one more year at a very team-friendly $3.75 million cap hit. Played 26 games this past season due to injury. 7 goals, 12 assists, 19 points in the games he appeared in. Voronkov, $4.18 million cap hit till 2027. He's a restricted free agent at the end of this contract as well. 73 games, 23 goals, 24 assists, 47 points. So he can absolutely play on the second line. Like I said, I just pulled Chinakhov out of his spot and put a blank spot in there just to point out that's where he would be according to the Puckpedia chart. And then you got Miles Wood, who they added from Colorado. 37 games, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. Wood's a fourth liner at this point in his career. Down the middle, I like this team down the middle, to be honest. So you've got Monahan. He's got a $5.5 million cap hit till 2029. 54 games this past season, 19 goals, 38 assists, 57 points. Good health is necessary for this forward group if they're going to be productive this season and if they're going to stay in the hunt. Adam Fantilli coming off of a ridiculous season, 31 goals, 23 assists, 54 points in 82 games. He's a restricted free agent next summer. Get him signed this summer, Don Waddell. It's going to get a lot more pricey as next season gets rolling. I think Fantilli is ready to take off. Fantilli's probably going to push his way into that first line role, and Monahan likely ends up in the second line role, but we'll see. Charlie Coyle, who was added in the same trade as Miles Wood, $5.25 million cap hit for one more season. Played 83 games in total between Boston and Colorado this past year. 17 goals, 18 assists, 35 points. Coyle will probably be in that 15 to 20 goal range, probably in that 40-point range as well, which for a third-line center, that's fine. And then you got Lundestrom, who they added. 79 games, 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points. It will be interesting to see if Lundestrom bounces back as a member of the Columbus Blue Jackets. On the right side, you got Kirill Marchenko. Marchenko had an excellent season. 79 games, 31 goals, 43 assists, 74 points. He has a $3.85 million cap hit till 2027, and he's a restricted free agent at that point as well. I think what's interesting is almost everybody on this team is on a very team-friendly contract. So they've got a bunch of cap space. They've got some players they have to sign next year, but it is interesting to see how many of these guys are kind of underpaid. Then you got Kent Johnson, 68 games, 24 goals, 33 assists, 57 points. If this team's going to take that next step, it's going to be on guys like Fantilli and Johnson and Marchenko to pull them there. Cole Sillinger, 2026 restricted free agent. He had a bit of a bounce back this year. I think there's still more there from Sillinger as well. And on the fourth line, you've got the very popular Olivier as well. Now, when we look at the depth, and again, Chinakhov is still here. Chinakhov could very well still be with this team come training camp. His agent's already said he'll report no matter what happens over the summer. But I think it's in the best interest of the Blue Jackets to try to make a trade take place. Now, Aston Reese can jump in. He played 79 games this past season, had 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points. Putia is a restricted free agent. He's not going to get a huge contract, though, despite his restricted free agent status. Delbel Belouz, 15 games, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points this past season. Not just a fun name to say. He's actually a pretty good player. It would be interesting to see if he gets a shot at the opening night roster. They also kept Brendan Gaunce, not Cameron Gaunce, Brendan Gaunce. And Malatesta had a rough season AHL-wise. 41 games, 8 goals, 6 assists, 14 points. And I say that because Malatesta was seen as a pretty strong prospect a couple years ago. He needs to improve his numbers in the AHL if he's going to get a callback and a chance to stick with the Blue Jackets. On the blue line, things are pretty solid on their blue line, really. Starting with Werenski. He has a $9.58 million cap hit till 2028. 81 games played this past season, 23 goals, 59 assists for 82 points. So just above a point per game was Werenski. Pretty excellent season all around. Dante Fabro has a $4.13 million cap hit till 2029. He played 6 games in Nashville, did not record a point. He then ends up in Columbus. 62 games in Columbus, 9 goals, 17 assists, 26 points. He had a better start to the season than finish, I thought. But either way, Fabro gives him a solid option as a top 4 defenseman. And then you got Provorov. He did stick around after all. $8.5 million cap hit till 2032. 82 games this past season, 7 goals, 26 assists for 33 points. Very reliable defenseman is Provorov. And then you've got Matejchuk, who may very well break through this season. There are Columbus fans who think that's going to happen. 45 games, 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points. If he gets the right amount of power play time and the right amount of ice time in general, he could very well be one of those defensemen who gets better this year in the National Hockey League. And then on the third pairing, you got Christensen and you've got Severson. Severson has a $6.25 million cap hit till 2031. I would say that's high, but I mean, honestly, Severson's played pretty well and they have so much cap space. $16,342,501 in cap space for Columbus currently. So even though Putia is set to get some sort of an extension, he's not going to eat into that by very much. Goodbranson only played 16 games this past season, had 4 assists. He's in the final year of a contract, and his cap hit this year is $4 million. They've added Mayo, a depth defenseman that I liked in Arizona a few years back. And then Yaros is coming back over. Christian Yaros, in the KHL this past season, 51 games, 2 goals, 10 assists, 12 points. I think that's a smart pickup for Columbus. No risk to it either. And we know he can play in the NHL. Svozil has had his setbacks in his attempt to make it to the NHL and stay there. And Kuhlmans is also on the list of defensemen. I like the depth this team has. The one question mark might be in goal. So you got Merzlikins is likely the backup this year. Although at $5.4 million for a cap hit till 2027, you want him to play the starters minutes. 26, 21, and 5 record this past season, which is good, but .892 save percentage. He can be better than that. But it gave Jet Greaves a chance, and Jet Greaves really took advantage of that down the stretch. Went 7-2-2 with a .938 save percentage. So really strong numbers from Greaves, and then Sawchenko is available in the AHL as well, should they decide to go that route. It will be interesting to see how things go under Dean Evason. We know that that's where Chinakhov broke with the team, was he didn't feel like he was being communicated with by Dean Evason, and it also appears he doesn't think he was treated fairly by Evason down the stretch. So is this just an outlier? Is Chinakhov the only one? Could we see somebody else come out this season and say, no, I'm not all that happy with how Evason's coaching things? We shall see. But for right now, it is just Chinakhov. And so whatever they get back for him will either strengthen them up front or maybe you get futures for him, right? So in the event that they decide with Chinakhov, well, we've got Delbel Belouz, maybe you throw him into the lineup. Maybe they don't need anything back right away, but this is a team that has a bunch of cap space, so they'll probably go out and find somebody. But let me know your thoughts. What happens with Chinakhov? What happens with this team between now and the start of the season? Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. I think the Columbus Blue Jackets should make the playoffs this year. I would go that far. With the right moves between now and the start of the season, even if that's deciding to find a way to keep Chinakhov happy. Whatever you got to do. Columbus needs to make the playoffs soon, and maybe this will be the year. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.